Hello, I am Xarkun, and this is World of Warships Legends. Apologies if you were expecting a stream today. I was expecting a stream as well, but it became evident to me that I wouldn't be able to do one, or probably I wouldn't be able to do one, thanks to my work schedule. But, you did get a stream for me last week Friday, again on Sunday, and then on Monday. So hopefully you're held over until then, and this game I have for you today is fantastic on my part, actually, so I hope it holds you over until the next stream, which will occur sometime this weekend. I don't know if it will be Saturday or Sunday, but it'll be one of the days, so look out for me then. As for today, this is probably one of the best games I've ever played in a destroyer, and for the most part, I want to walk you through my thought process because it really is quite good. How good? Well, a little bit of a spoiler alert. Not only am I going to flip all 3 of these capture circles solo, but I'm also going to sink all 3 of the enemy destroyers. So this is going to be the hardest of hard carries, and hopefully there's something in here that might be useful advice or useful demonstration for people who want to know how to play a little bit better in destroyers. And I think the keys to my success here in this game are going to be my patience, careful positioning, and just frankly the good choices I make. And the first of the good choices that I've made is, well, you'll notice I spawned south of the Bravo cap, and oftentimes it is not a good idea to push right into the center of the map, into the center cap, at the very start of the game. Can it work sometimes, and can it be useful? Yes. If you can get that center cap instantly, it becomes a lot harder for the enemy team to get it after you flipped it. But this Fletcher out here on the Charlie cap side, well, in the beginning, he was being quite indecisive, sorta floating between B and C without committing to either one, so I decided I was going to commit to Charlie if the Fletcher was not. We've got a Bismarck out here, and probably some Warships. Taking a look at our torpedo aiming indicator to see if we can get any torps on the guy, and we open fire. Instantly we get spotted, and I do not think that is the Bismarck who is responsible for spotting us. Indeed, the enemy Shimakaze pops up. So we shoot at him as we begin to deploy our smoke screen, and note we are reversing out of the cap. Why are we doing that? Well, there's an island to our, right there, or the left of the screen. And we know the Shimakaze's probably launching torpedoes. There they are, of course. He had a very limited vector on which he could launch those torpedoes, so the closer we reverse to that island, the more impossible it becomes for the torpedoes to hit us. Of course, we narrowly miss that one, but we do end up avoiding all of them. And now we're just helping our teammates here shoot at this Bismarck, who has pulled around the corner and is now in full retreat. Speaking of full retreat, the Shimakaze still hanging around there, but he's going to be in full retreat as well. He probably does not want to push into me, and I don't know if he spotted the friendly Fletcher beside me, but I'm going to assume he did, and he thought better of it. So he is going to head off to the Bravo cap, as far as I can tell, which is probably the correct choice for him. As far as us, well, we're just shooting away at this Bismarck. You'll notice we are shooting armor piercing. One of the things that I think makes this game so interesting is that the ZF6, which is the ship we're in, premium tier 7 German destroyer, of all the things you could say about it, I don't think being an anti-destroyer gunboat, or being the best anti-destroyer gunboat, is one of the things you could say about it. The high explosive on this ship is, in a word, complete trash. And in almost all cases, except against angled targets that the armor piercing cannot penetrate, the armor piercing is usually the better choice. And you're going to see us fire the armor piercing when we encounter these destroyers again, and you'll notice that the results are okay, but still, if your goal in a game was to hunt down and sink all 3 enemy destroyers, I don't think the ZF6 would be at the top of your short list for ships to do it with. In any case, things are going bad for our team. We have lost 3 ships, 2 battleships and a destroyer, and the enemy team has only lost 1 battleship. Furthermore, we have only taken 1 cap, whereas the enemy is very, very close now to having taken 2 as soon as the Bravo cap gets flipped by them, and it is flipped now. So we've got our work cut out for us. The enemy team has a commanding points lead already, and it's only going to continue to grow. Now this Iowa next to us, he's going to ping us a lot for support, and it is a little bit annoying, but we can forgive him because he does finish, I think, pretty high up on the leaderboard when all is said and done. But he is going to be pinging for my support, and as far as supporting your teammates go in destroyers, well, that Shimakaze is now going to begin hunting him, and I could try to go after the Shimakaze, but you really need to read the room on situations like this. We're down 4 ships. We're down 2 caps. The goal has to be to get the Bravo cap, and that has already become our goal. The thing standing between us and that cap is this Georgia, so we've got torpedoes on the way toward him, but the friendly Iowa is reversing around the island, and he comes out and is able to dev strike that Georgia, so good for him. That clears the cap of the largest threat, but that Shimakaze still lurking around here somewhere. Twist and track seems to indicate that he's closer to the Charlie cap, and most likely he's north of it since the cap is not turning red and he isn't flipping it. Again, I think he's out there hunting the Iowa. But there is also another enemy destroyer inside of this cap, the Tier 7 Pan-Asian destroyer Xian Yang, so we're keeping him in mind as well. Right now, he's outside of our detectability range, and frankly, we're kind of thinking maybe the Shimakaze will get spotted if we go around this corner, so we're going to look in that direction just to make sure, pointing our guns this way to the right of our ship as we intend to turn right and aim them at the Xian Yang if we don't see the Shima, which we don't. Xian Yang smokes up. There's already a smoke cloud on the water. I think that must belong to the Shimakaze. In any case, we can't see him anymore, but we do see a Yamato pushing down this gap. And what do you know, our torpedoes are ready. So we launch them in that direction. They're nice, dual-purpose torps. Almost a 100% certainty that they're going to hit this Yamato, but they may hit the Xian Yang as well and take him out, which would be icing on the cake. Yamato inside of the gap, there is no getting away now. And I didn't think these torpedoes were going to dev strike him, but they do. And there is our first kill of the game. Now at this point, we are radared by the Ochakov out there. We're in no danger of being shot. Nothing can actually shoot at us, but that Shimakaze is going after our Iowa friend. It is 4 versus 4 right now, so it wouldn't do to let that Shimakaze sink the Iowa without paying for it. It certainly wouldn't improve our chances of winning. So at this point, we don't go immediately for the Bravo cap. Instead, we go to take out this Shimakaze, and you can see this armor piercing against his broadside. It is effective enough to take him down. He beaches himself there, and, well, the Iowa is dead, but the Shimakaze also, he's not getting out of this alive. So we trade that Iowa for the Shima. That's a point swing in the enemy's favor, and they're still ahead of us by nearly 200 points. So it's crucial we get on this Bravo cap, and we're taking a look out here in the distance at the enemy Ochakov. He's beginning to duel with the friendly Amalfi, and I am crossing my fingers that this Amalfi is going to win, but he's got some things going against him. He's got the Xian Yang behind him, probably going to launch torpedoes at him, and the Ochakov, he's getting closer and closer. Looks like his torpedoes missed, and ultimately the Ochakov is going to come out on top in this scenario. We've got one remaining battleship teammate left. He's down there to the south, sort of kiting away, and it looks like, according to the last known position of the other enemy destroyer on the minimap, that he's probably being harassed by an enemy he can't see. The Xian Yang opens fire at the Amalfi, so we open fire on him. Careful not to go around this island and get spotted. The cap circle is beginning to flip in our favor, and we do need to secure that before anything else can happen. The Ochakov, though, is the biggest problem. He's the biggest threat, and it would be exceedingly difficult for us to fight him directly. Luckily, he's not really paying attention to the fact that he's about to sail past a gap that leads to a cap circle being flipped by one of his enemies. And just perfectly, he is slowing down right in the place where I'm launching the torpedoes. So I was initially firing my guns at him. It occurred to me that I did not need to do that. Only now does he pop his radar to reveal me, but it's far too late. The torpedoes strike him and take him out for our third kill, just as we get our second solo cap. And now, here's the Xian Yang. I don't have this ship yet, but I suspect it's probably going to be a somewhat effective gunboat. It is essentially a Benson-class destroyer, but with 4 guns, or if we're going to be technical, it's a Gleaves-class destroyer. So, you know, he can put up some fire at us, but the thing is, he's a Pan-Asian destroyer. And the gimmick of the Pan-Asian destroyers is that they do not have torpedoes capable of damaging other enemy destroyers. They have deep water torpedoes, and deep water torpedoes cannot hit destroyers. So we know that this Xian Yang is no torpedo threat to us. We know we have a pretty good hit points advantage over him, and we can pretty comfortably sit here and trade with him. You see, he hesitates to shoot at us, and when he does, he misses. Why? Because he was busy launching torpedoes, giving up valuable time with which he could use to damage us with his guns. Instead, he launches the torpedoes. They can't hit us, and even if they could, they missed anyway. So we're able to take him out easily as our 4th kill of the game. And just like that, we have brought this game, which looked pretty hopeless earlier on, up to a more manageable level where we could come out on top. And if we do want to come out on top, well, we have 2 choices open to us. The first is we could go and hunt down that Fletcher. But the second is we could secure this alpha cap, deny the enemy an income of points, and continue to increase our own income of points. That is the thing that is going to guarantee us the win if we do it. So we decide we're going to take on the alpha cap, or rather we're going to flip the alpha cap before we even think about trying to deal with that enemy Fletcher. And actually, now that I talk about taking the cap, that leads me to a little piece of advice I want to give, which is, in a destroyer, especially in a domination mode game, your goal should always be to win the game. And the way you win the game is, what you need to do is think about what actions can I take in order to increase my team's points. That's what I'm thinking about all the time. I'm not thinking about what ships do I need to sink. I'm thinking about how do I get more points. And you get more points by capping. The benefit of taking this alpha cap is that the enemy has no income of points, and we have all the points coming in to us as soon as we flip this. And the thing that is important about that is this Yamato out here is on almost no health. He could probably take 1, maybe 2 torpedoes from this Fletcher, and if he takes those, he's going down, which is going to flip the points in the enemy team's favor, albeit temporarily. They aren't going to be able to hold on to any kind of points lead when we hold 3 caps. So as long as we've secured all the caps, we've essentially secured the conditions for a win. And honestly, we don't even have to go after this Fletcher. He does take down the Yamato, but it doesn't matter. It only gives them a tiny little points lead for only a moment. We're going to overtake them now, and for all we know, we haven't actually seen this Fletcher. He could be on full health. So there's really no reason for us to go after him, other than we're on 4 kills and we want the Kraken. And we realize that this could potentially result in us, quote, winning harder and throwing the game, but we're checking to see if we have an escape route. this island next to us might block our way. We also have a smoke screen, and we have our main battery reload booster if things get hairy. We launch torpedoes in the direction of Twist and Track, less than 30 seconds left to go, and our concerns that the Fletcher might be on full health are going to turn out to be completely unfounded. He has no health left at all. So we open fire on him instantly, confident that we can take him out in 2 salvos. He does give us a run for our money there and nearly kills us, but just before his killing blow reaches us, we're able to take him out, secure that Kraken, and carry this game to a resounding victory with an impressive amount of base XP, 3,558. A little bit risky there at the end, but it all worked out for us, and we were able to bring this game back from the brink. These are the kind of games I love to play and love to show on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed watching it. If so, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.